Hello.
Hi, Kath. You all right?
Yep.
Can you hear me properly?
Yep. I think I had my sound turned up. It's down a bit now.
How are you? Okay, so let's start off with then. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your background.
Yeah, I've actually started my own small business this year, so going about
Oh,
6.
wow.
Yeah, so I'm now a AAT licensed accountant, which I never thought I'd get into because
Congratulations.
I've spent the last 20 years working for other people. So it's quite a big step for me. So my business is Long White Cloud Accounting. I'm a New Zealander, look that up, land of the Long White Cloud. And I help establish small businesses with ambitious owners. So they need to be, raring to go, keep their monthly numbers meaningful and zero. So, updated, provide meaning and help them out with it, growing their business. And
Excellent.
yeah, so that's bookkeeping, VAT, and management accounting. But previously, in New Zealand, I was an accounting technician, and then when I moved over here, I became AAT. And yeah, I've been studying lots of different things. I've got a degree. I've I was doing ACCA for a while, and then I stopped that to get my license, and now I'm doing ICB. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, I love accounting and I love learning, and I've done loads of stuff over the last 20 years.
That's
Worked
incredible.
Yeah, I've worked in all different kinds of organizations and all different jobs, and I just love it.
I was
And
actually going to say, I picked up on your accent a little bit and I thought, yeah, where's, where's that from? So
yeah,
you're
that's
New Zealand original.
that's right. Yeah, I've been here for about, I don't know, 13 years or something now.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, born and raised in New Zealand.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So, do in New Zealand do they have, like, say, the same qualifications that you can obtain? So, is the likes of the AAT, ACCA
They have
available there?
No, it's quite different, and it takes quite a long time to become a fully qualified chartered accountant. I think
Oh,
it's
wow.
about the same time as a doctor. So it's 7 years. Well, when I was doing it in New Zealand, it was 7 years full time to become a chartered accountant. And that in New Zealand involves doing 4 years of, like, you've got to do a degree and then a fourth year.
Oh, wow.
So I did all of that, and I left before I finished it. So I was 6 years into the 7 years. Anyway, yeah, I did my account. It's basically you can be an accounting technician or you can be a chartered accountant. That's how I remember it. So I left school before I finished and couldn't get into university because I just wanted to get out there in the world. So that
Yeah,
all my secondary school. So I went to diploma in business, a 2 years diploma, and that's how I could become an accounting technician. And then after that, I went on to do a degree and all that kind of thing.
that's incredible, though. I think it's interesting to see how the qualifications just of them all have changed over like even a decade. The things, the resources and things that are available now definitely weren't there when I was studying.
No, it might have changed as well in New Zealand, but oh yeah, it's totally different now. And you can get online with people wherever they are, and yeah, get lots of support from people doing the same thing, and that's really important as well.
That's incredible. And what sort of client base do you have with your business? Is it, like say you've got a bit of bookkeeping in there, but is it purely one industry? Do you focus on the likes of medical, for example, or is it an all-encompassing?
I do software, so IT and hospitality,
Oh, wow.
and although I'm a licensed accountant, I'm not licensed to do tax returns or anything, because of my experience in industry and background. But I get right in there every month and do all the bookkeeping. And because my background is mainly management accounting, I've got a real push for quality management reporting to help them,
Yeah.
with their businesses. So I'm getting right into that now.
Okay, that's excellent. Okay, so I think we've touched on slightly there the qualification that you've undertaken, but um, tell me a little bit more about the bookkeeping side of things because we don't. Let's say my channel at the moment focuses a lot on AAT because that's sort of the route I went down, and so I don't really know a great deal about the likes of the ICB and the bookkeeping qualifications that you can undertake.
Yeah, and I only realised this in the past, say, 5 or 6 months, working with the Six-Figure Bookkeepers Club, and I'm doing a course with them now. And a whole lot of people there are ICB qualified, so the Institute of Certified Bookkeepers, and just about to take another exam now. So I'm quite used. I did all my degree and all my postgrad stuff by correspondence. So I'm quite used to just working away at home. And the ICB, the Institute of Certified Bookkeepers, is all set up. I think they're really geared towards people who want to run their own businesses.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas, yeah, and I'm actually looking at I'm going to get a practice license with them as well, because the AAT was brilliant for me over, my industry life, and even working in a CA firm for a little stint. So that was really good because, employers recognized it. They recognized
Definitely.
the AAT, and to become MAAT and fully qualified, they know that you're, pretty decent, and that and you're invested in, your things, and yet you love accounting to do all that. So that worked really well. But what I'm finding now is the ICB is just brilliant, and my communications with them have been like amazing. And when you're set up in business, there's a whole lot of policies and procedures and extra checks that you have to do so you can
Yeah.
provide accounting services to the public. And they seem to be very supportive in that regard as well. So yeah.
How long will it take you to be qualified from start to finish? Is it a year thing, or is it a 3-year course, or?
It's all at your own pace. So I did level, so I couldn't cross credit any of my prior exams or anything.
Oh, right,
Because
okay.
I'd already cross credited them into ACCA because I got up to the final 3 exams, the Strategic Professional,
Yeah.
and the ACCA. So I'd already cross credited them into there, and I don't think you can do it again, get an exemption again or something. I don't really understand it. But anyway, they were older than 5 of my exams, basically. So I started at the beginning, level 2. So for me, I didn't need any textbooks or anything. I just went and sat the exams, and you need 85% to pass, I think. But you just go
Brilliant.
online and sit them.
Wow.
And it's great. And actually it's open book as well, because they say in the real world, you can go and look up Google, or you can refer to your accounting standards or textbooks,
Exactly.
find the answer. And I'm so glad I found them, and I really rate them highly. And
That's
I'm really
incredible.
supportive of them. Yeah. And they had the Bookkeepers Summit last week, and I've listened to all the recordings because I was away at another conference. But it's just like hands-on practical advice
So
about,
that's
you
it's
know,
it's great to talk about them, because say I get a lot of questions on the channel around bookkeeping and
yeah,
what exemptions can I have. I've decided, halfway through AAT, I don't want to do it. I want to now switch onto the bookkeeping course, and I don't have a great deal of answers for them because I'm just not close enough to the bookkeeping qualification to say which
yeah,
way or another to point them in the right direction. So I think I might have to do a little bit more coverage on that aspect with
yeah.
students.
It might be even interviewing somebody there and getting like from
Yeah,
the
definitely.
mouth the info, because when you say how long does it take to qualify, you could do your level 2 and 3 in a month if you had the time, and if you already had accounting and finance experience and had studied. For some people it might take 2 or 3 years because they're already working full time with families and doing it a few hours a week.
Yeah.
um
It's great though that they've got the flexibility, so you can make it what you will. Like you say, put in a few more hours on this week, and then next week mix it up a bit. It's not, you have to do this now, otherwise it's going to sort of expire, and then you got to redo it again or
Yeah,
anything like that.
it's something about a 5-year period. They update their syllabus, and then if you haven't got to a certain level, you might have to go back and reset something. But
Yeah,
it's flexible, and it's totally get up for being flexible. So if you've got your month-end deadlines and VAT returns are due, just put it to the side for 1 or 2 weeks, and then come back to it. I do a lot of my study at night, 10, 11 p.m., and
yeah,
I've real great success with sitting exams at about 11 p.m. because I'm like so motivated,
yeah.
and and it's just crazy. And when you get to the very end of level 3, there's an exam that you need to be like, is it moderated for, where they come online and watch you through the camera?
Oh,
Yeah. So that's the final one to say you've finished your level 2 and 3s. It's like a synopsis kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
th-
So that's how the ACCA were doing all their exams.
Yeah, I was going to say with the pandemic, everybody's started to do at home sort of exams throughout, and I've heard a lot of that. I don't think I'd like that personally. Um,
Yeah, apparently
Move
it's
it.
quite straightforward, and they've nailed it. So it's easy for the students, and it's quite an easy process.
Well,
But
that's good.
I suppose it's fair enough because yeah, they want to know when you've passed, because then you can call yourself qualified. You can go on to do level 4, but this is the main qualification, level 2 and 3. So they want to know, that you know your stuff and that it's actually you
Certainly.
sitting that synopsis. Yeah.
Okay, so then again, we've touched on this slightly here, so we're kind of crossing over on the questions, but
Oops.
so what did you enjoy the most about the experience?
Of becoming AAT qualified.
AAT or again the bookkeeping that you're doing now?
Yeah, I've been doing bits and pieces for years and years, ever since I like left school really. So I love accounting, and I like love the black and whiteness of it, and the debits need to equal the credits, and there's rules and regulations, and because unless you're really senior and you're trying to interpret really complex financial standards, which I never want to get into, I love to be able to say to people that no, you have to do it like this because that's the only option because HMRC says, or things like that. So yeah, and I love bringing together all the information. I love systems and software and things. So actually studying, it just gives me a great sense of achievement
Yeah,
to tick all
definitely.
those exams off. And I'm really actually motivated. Like I'm quite passionate about learning, and I'm used to CPD, the continuing professional development. So I actually spend quite a lot of my time on that. And I just love absorbing knowledge and talking to other people and learning about new things. Because in accounting, it's like the world is your oyster. You're never going
Absolutely.
to know everything.
That's it.
Mm.
I think
So
that the CPD courses that are available now, even again, like just across all of the qualifications, they're so good. They cover such a range of topics. It's not just, oh, you've done AAT, it's all going to be AAT specific. It's not at all. You have like real world CPD classes and finance business partnering, and just, I say, just so many you can get involved with, and you can learn even more even after you've qualified, even if it's again your AAT, your ATT, ICB, ACCA, whatever it might be. So
that's
that's
right.
one of the great things.
Yeah, so I've never really done payroll or anything. And when you get to level 4 of ICB, you can do business insights, which is your management accounting. I'll definitely be doing that. Self-assessment tax returns, payroll, and probably like annual returns for
Yeah.
companies, micro entities. So yeah, just find what you really like doing and go for it. And so
That's
much
excellent.
choice. Yeah.
Um, okay, so are there any things then that you would have done differently with your studies?
Yeah, only in the last few years I started ACCA because I was in an ACCA firm, and I really wanted to do something else apart from working, because I went in at quite a low level and it wasn't very challenging because I'd been off with the kids for a few years. So I started my ACCA and I was studying for the strategic professional exams, which are very tough. And I did strategic business leader and got a really good mark, and loved that. And then I was doing the next one. But I spent a lot of money cross crediting and getting exemptions to get to that level. And I spent a lot of money doing the study and sitting the exams. And if I'd thought about it properly, I wouldn't have started ACCA because that's not what I want to do. I don't want to be that, year end strategic accountant, really high level. I want to be, you know, middle of the road, working with businesses day in, day out.
In the detail.
looking at their monthly reports and really helping them during the year to
Yeah.
say, do you know that you've made 10% more than last year on sales for this product? Or did you know you're spending 20% more on staff costs when you've only budgeted for this much? Because people don't know this,
No,
I
absolutely.
like to hold their hand and help them with their business and point out these things and say, where do you actually want, why do you do this business? Where do you want to get to? What's your
And
drive for doing your business? And then helping them kind of achieve that, you
do
know?
you feel as if at the time there was more information available, so somebody who was ACCA, or you just had multiple different sources you could go to find out people's past experience and the job they were doing now with the ACCA, that if that was available, that would have helped make your choice a little bit easier at the
Yeah,
time.
for sure. Like, I didn't really know, and I just took what the main partner there was doing. So I felt that I didn't really have any choice. And I'd never heard of ICB, and I didn't really realize, which I think a lot of accountants, this happens, what actually bookkeeping is when you do it
Yes.
thoroughly, and being, this close to the business owner, meeting with them, fortnightly, monthly, and what it actually involves. Because who sits down and does a bank reconciliation and really thinks about the processes and what it means rather than just ticking it off to do the final accounts?
That's it.
So
See,
I think if I had a bookkeeper who had set up their own business, an ICB certified qualified bookkeeper, I would have not gone nowhere near ACCA. You know?
I think I agree with that because again, I've had a very, I'd say, different career to most accountants because
Yeah.
I originally started in bookkeeping and
Mm.
then I did AAT. So I did accounts for doctors' practices for many years, qualified AAT, and then I went into audit in ACA, did all of my ACA, but also got seconded out to their accounts team because obviously I had a prior background in there. And then since then, it's been financial reporting, commercial. But I think having started off in bookkeeping, like you say, a lot of people don't really get to see what's actually
Mm.
involved in the bookkeeping and let's say how rewarding it is to be able to say to the client, like say, have you noticed that actually on here your contribution per unit is much higher for this particular product and helping them make those decisions? It's just, yeah, it's just very rewarding.
Yeah, and that is unusual to go the other way around and start in bookkeeping and
Yeah,
go all the way up. And I really have a problem at the moment with chartered accountants thinking that bookkeepers are just low level data entry people who should be paid, I don't know, £12 an hour. Um,
it's a lack of, I think, a little bit of a lack of understanding of what really goes into bookkeeping. Not having seen the process start to finish. So again, you can't possibly grasp what really goes on. Um, and also, I think they're just the two separate skills in themselves because, like I say, you've got individuals who are financial reporters, so doing year-end stats, interim stats, audit, etc. And then there's the day-to-day running of a business and cash flows and, let's
oh,
say,
cash flows are
VAT
huge.
returns,
Yeah,
you name it, making tax digital and everything that goes into it. So actually, I think it's very difficult for somebody to compare the two. I don't
yeah.
think, like I say,
And
you
of
can say
course, yes, there's all different kinds of businesses. So if you have a
absolutely.
tiny sole trader, they're not going to need or want, a bookkeeping function every month. So I'm talking about micro entities, maybe, when you get to 1 million turnover, they really need that intel from a bookkeeper who's working closely with them,
Absolutely.
and that will really help them grow their business and provide proper insights into what's happening. Yeah, rather than just being on that treadmill trying to get to year end and then having a look at the end of the year. Oh, is that how much we made? Or oh my gosh, did we make a loss? Or who
That's it.
knows?
It's, at that point in time, it's historic data, and there's not a great deal you can do about it at that point in time.
And it's so historic. So it'll be like a year and a half old, maybe.
Yeah,
What use is that? It's
absolutely.
a very long time in some businesses' life cycle.
Definitely.
Mm.
Um, okay. So then what, there's two questions you can answer here. So we can either answer, what would you tell yourself if you could go back 5 years? Or what would you tell to somebody who's looking to study one of the bookkeeping qualifications? We can answer both.
Have we got time? I've
Yeah,
been
there's
getting away.
time. There's time.
Okay. Well, I think they're interconnected. So the first one, what would I tell?
Oh,
Right.
there you go. It paused for a second then. Sorry.
Yeah. I've changed to using my. Are you still there?
Yeah. I can hear you. Yeah. It just froze on my end, so I thought, oh, if it doesn't come back in a second, I'll send you a message. But it's fine.
Okay. So 5 years ago, I tell myself that I should have listened to my mother a while back and actually research the possibilities of setting up for myself, setting up my own business, providing accounting services to the public and being my own boss and running my own small business and not mucking around anymore. Because, and like giving myself the gift of confidence, because this is actually really what I want to do. And now, I'm in my 40s and I've only just started and I should have done this ages ago. And set up.
I think that though it's true for a lot of things. You just need to jump in. You just need to start from day dot and just do it. Don't spend so much time worrying and procrastinating over it. Just do it.
Yeah, and it's not going to be perfect because with accountants, we like to be really prepared and really organized and spot on, but that's not going to happen if you set up your own business.
No.
You just have to start and learn as you go, and it's amazing. Yeah.
Imagine where you'll be in 5 years though, after all that knowledge gained.
I've got big plans. Yeah.
Okay, so then what would you tell somebody looking to study bookkeeping?
Okay, so bookkeeping, you start now because MTD for ITSA, MTD for income tax self-assessments is coming, even though it's been pushed back the year, it's coming soon. And there's going to be demand for bookkeepers and bookkeeping work. People need to get their bookkeeping updated at least every quarter to be able to return to HMRC a quarterly return. So look at the ICB, Institute of Certified Bookkeepers, and ring them up. When I first heard about them, I rang them up and talked to a lovely lady on the phone for about 40 minutes and asked her a whole range of questions.
That's
and
lovely.
I felt like, oh my gosh, why haven't I found this before? This is exactly what I want and exactly what I need. So yes, bookkeeping is going to be where it's at, and it's going to become very fundamental, well, even more fundamental than now, and very important. So yes, go for
Absolutely. Perfect. Okay, so is there anything else that you want to add to anything that we've spoken about? Any further tips that you've got, or anything at all?
Just one more thing. If you are looking to set up your own practice in the future or now, or just really want some great support, there's a Facebook group called the Six Figure Bookkeepers Club, and they are fantastic. So have a look.
That's some great advice. Thank you very much for your time. It was lovely
Okay.
to meet you.
Yeah, good luck with it.
Thank you. You take care.
Okay.
Bye. Bye, Kath. Bye.